And then when I was young, either to be a teacher or to be a nurse. But nursing came forward more to me than anything else. The major thing in my family is obedience, respect, culture, and education.
You were born in 1944, and Mommy Cordelia is 82 years old. You really do not look it at all.
I was initiated into the traditional, prestigious chieftaincy title.
All right. What is that title about? What are you?
You have to have a name, and that name is Nwachinemelu.
Okay.
Nwachinemelu. That Nwachinemelu is that God is on your side. And then, of course, I walked throughout the war. I don't think I will wish anybody
that experience.
Don't be a liability to anybody. I want to be self-independent, and that self-independence is what I built myself, and being blessed as well. Africans supposed not to be suffering. This is the fault of our leaders. They are so greedy, so corrupt, and they are so wicked.
Tell me the secret to being 82 and being this way.
Why I'm this way?
The African possibility. Your narrative starts now. Your narrative starts now. Welcome to the podcast.
Born in Nigeria in 1944, Mommy Cordelia's life has unfolded across some of the most defining moments in modern African and British history. She trained as a nurse and a midwife under the Catholic Missionaries, cared for wounded soldiers, pregnant women and children during the Nigerian Civil War, and lost her father amid the devastation. In 1971, carrying little more than her professional training, faith and determination, she left Nigeria for Britain to rebuild her life and continue the vocation she had chosen from childhood. More than 5 decades later, her story is one of courage, discipline, service, and quiet resistance. She speaks candidly about confronting racism in the British healthcare system, building a family, preserving her culture, and refusing to enter marriage without first becoming an independent woman. At 82, Mommy Cordelia offers hard-earned lessons on resilience, spirituality, African leadership, and the values she hopes to pass on to her grandchildren. This is not simply the story of one remarkable woman. It is a living record of war, migration, motherhood, nursing, and the strength required to begin again. So settle in and let's get into it.
So, Mommy Cordelia, you've had a very, very fruitful journey all along life. And you started out from Nigeria. You came to the United Kingdom, back to Nigeria, and then back to the United Kingdom. Can you take us through that journey from Nigeria and then eventually to the United Kingdom?
Well, starting my life in Nigeria, it's from childhood. I will say that. From childhood, my parents are not educated ones. My dad was a farmer and a hunter. My mother was a business woman with about 12 children, and fought to the last, in line, and born as twin delivery with my twin sister, that we are quite identical. And we grew up, in my hometown, which is Onitsha, in Nigeria.
Right.
And my hometown, of course, Onitsha is a place I love.
Right.
And I never, equate it with any place in my life, because this is where I started my life.
Right.
And it's a great route, which Onitsha as a culture is a very traditional, cultural, and disciplined environment. And peer group or peer grouping is a core life situation in my town, Onitsha. And this peer group, of course, is what helps the children in those days during my time. We use it to compare ourselves and the families that we grow up with. And everybody hustles and then wants to be at the top of everything, So the because of my family situation of large family, though my mother was the second wife of my family, of my dad.
Father, yeah.
And then, of course, she had us as a great number. And that made us to actually be what we are all, in my family today,
Okay.
because we care for each other. The senior cares for the junior, and then, of course, the junior follows the route of, the line of their seniors, and then with great respect as well. But that respect and that life situation is what we inherited from our parents. Even though not educated, my parents, but my dad was a blacksmith in the shipping industry.
Yeah.
And then, of course, being the only son, he didn't stay long there, and then came home to be, do his responsorial duties as the first son of the parents. And that kept him home, and which made him to be what he is as a farmer and all that. But nevertheless, of the parental situation, it didn't, wear us down, because as per group and cultural situation, we managed to thrive and move on to any greater height.
Right.
And that situation, cultural, women are made to be the core disciplinary person in each family.
Wow.
And our mothers are our mentors, our educator, and everything. Though the man still stands as the man of the house, but our women in Onitsha, they have a role, more higher role than the men.
Yeah. In terms of the family, you mean, no? In the family.
Yeah, the family, the family as well, So that I had my education, back home, and I didn't finish, everything, because I lived with my senior sister to help her when she was married with her, kids, and I lived with my auntie, who my mother's senior sister, and at least because of that exposure, I was actually, brought up in a dual, cultural situation, whereby, I came home, and then my mother took up from there. And then that's how I now, got into nursing education. My mother's stepfather was the person which I actually entrust myself till tomorrow, because when I had admission to do my nursing, because it was my sole call, because actually I had two calls even when I was young, either to be a teacher or to be a nurse. But nursing came forward more to me than anything else, and which I adored, because it was from childhood I developed that, because I was helping my mother, my aunties, and then my sisters in bringing up their kids. And that actually gave me that
Joy,
instinct of maturity and which line to follow.
Yeah.
And that helped me to push my life as much as I can. And because I was a very principled young child of my mom, especially the female ones, because I have we are about 4 girls in my family, but the rest are male. Then my mother was more, inclined to me. And I said, okay, if my mother is so keen and giving me that pride, I must make sure I,
make her proud.
actually, do exactly and get to wherever I want to because of her.
Yeah.
So I was that influential child of my mother, my aunties and everything. And that was why I upheld myself from then. And I felt, oh, I have to be what I should be.
Right.
And then I went to nursing. And most of my nursing career was in the mission hospitals, brought up by the Catholic nuns and priests, which there's a lot of discipline, especially discipline from the Irish background, Irish, hospitals, which is more of the core Catholic missionaries. And that was where I did my training as a nurse. And I think their training was, what actually any one of us or any individual or human being who undergo the training under the missionaries then, we were so much lucky that, our training was, on top of the roof, which goes with discipline and everything, being a very studious students and everything. And then my mother really backed me up and followed me anywhere, as throughout the course of my training. And my twin sister was also, she herself wasn't that, didn't get such calling as a nurse, but because I had the call and everything, so my sister has to follow me. And then both of us became nurses. We went to training in the same school and finished my schooling, and then did my nursing and then midwifery, the same thing with my twin sister. And when we finished our training, I started working. My mother couldn't believe it. And then she was so proud of us and everything. And then we came to the village of our peer groups. My mother was saying, oh my God, because some of them got married and, this and that. But the two of us continued. And then we sort of showed that good ambassadors of our profession, in the village. And based on that, my father's discipline to us is, you will never go out and marry outside my environment, Onitsha town. And we all obeyed, because the major thing in my family is obedience, respect, culture, and education.
Wow.
So all these things was impacted to us before we leave home.
Sorry, I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you. You just mentioned those values right now. I was going to ask you, what were those values you had, being that you don't look it. Say that you were born in 1944 and Mommy Cordelia is 82 years old. You really do not look it at all. All credits to you and to all the hard work you've put in to be like this at 82. And so I was going to ask, you were born in 1944 before independence. What were those values that your parents instilled in you growing up through those early years and into adulthood? So yeah, just that before you tell us how you got to the United Kingdom.
Right. Well, those values is actually following the parental values, which was instilled in us by my parents, and we followed it up to the core. And following that with respect, and we want to, make ourselves to be, a sort of figure from the background that I came out from. And I want to make my mother proud, make my family proud.
Right.
I know my other sisters, they got married, and I said to my mother, if they are married and they were half educated, but for me, I will get to where I want to be. And that is my call,
right,
which I have, and I decided to follow it up to. And then well, that actually brought me to my life as step by step. And then when I come to the stage of being what I have got what I want in life, I was initiated into the traditional, prestigious chieftaincy title.
Group. All right.
In my town and in my village and in my family, which of course, where my twin sister had it and my senior sister had it, so we have that traditional, prestigious title.
So, what is that title about? What are you?
My title by the name is you have to have a name.
Yeah.
And that name is Nwachinemelu.
Okay.
Nwachinemelu.
Meaning?
That Nwachinemelu is a title that God, the meaning is that God is on your side.
Right.
And God is good to you.
Right.
So that is quite, where that aspect comes in, that all the work you have done, you have to show it. And then, of course, unfortunately, my mother didn't have it because she passed away, when we were not able to give her that title of what she deserved, So, and my sister had her own, she had her own name, and my elder senior sister had, her own name as well. So that's the life, and that life is that you have upheld your culture and that respect you have for the family and respect you have for your culture, for your country, and then for your village, the community where you are born. Yeah, so this is exactly what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So after nursing, as a student nurse, you graduated and started working. And at what point did you leave Nigeria and come to the United Kingdom?
Yeah, actually, I have finished my nursing midwifery and working as a qualified nurse and midwife in my country. And then the Biafran War
broke out,
came up. And throughout the war, well, I was working as a qualified person. And then with the hassle of the war and everything, and I was based in the eastern region then, which of course where the war is, impacted at that time. And I was working in a village called Ogo, which is in Enugu State.
Oh.
That's where I worked, and that was the war front during the war.
Yeah.
And that was, we were, caring for the wounded soldiers and everything. And then, of course, my mother, we have to rescue our mother from the war zone. And then she survived, but we lost our dad because our dad refused to move. Being a traditional person, he refused to go out. And then that's how we lost him during the war. And then, of course, the war took about 3 good years. And then, of course, I worked throughout the war and then be with my sisters and my siblings, the junior ones and everything. So I wouldn't say it's a very good thing. War is so bad. And if I'm to tell the story of the war and how it went with me, myself, and my family and everything, as at that time I wasn't married, I was still a young girl. And then I was taking care of my mom and my siblings. And when the war ended in 1970, then I sorted my mom out. And then, of course, that was when I decided that I have to find a new location for myself to still carry on and update myself in my profession. And it was at the end of that war, but I stayed a year as a sort of rehabilitation period. Yeah. Then I left home. And that was in 1971. Wow. And I came to Britain. Wow. In 1971. Wow. And I was still single then.
Well, all right.
But then I had 2 brothers who were living in Britain then.
Okay.
So I came And then they didn't even know I was coming.
Really?
Yeah, I've already sorted myself out. And then when I got my passport and visa and everything, then I called them. I said, I am coming. They were shocked.
Because I was just going to ask you, what was the motivation for coming over to Britain? What motivated you? Why not another place? Why not maybe the United States or Canada or any other place? Why the United Kingdom?
Yeah, because it's the first time I'm leaving home.
Mm-hmm.
And leaving my mom and everybody,
Yeah.
and being that my brothers are here,
Mm-hmm.
I decided to come.
All right.
And then as at that time too, fortunately, there was a call that Britain needs nurses.
Oh, interesting.
Needs nurses then.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's, I have to say to my mom, unfortunately, I'm going to
Britain.
I'm going to Britain.
Right.
And then maybe if I get there, if I'm to, because she was more of, oh, why should you go without being married? As a single girl, you're going on your own.
Yeah.
I said to my mom, never mind. If I have done everything to myself, I will take care of myself when I get there. So I left home. Fortunately, my senior brother, he's late now,
Oh, that's
came and then welcomed me. And then I started my life. Fortunately, I have already done my, career nursing and midwifery, and I was working as a midwife throughout that war, taking care of women and childbirth, care of children, in addition to my, that is my midwifery part. So I was doing two parts at the same time, caring for the soldiers and also caring for pregnant women and children.
Wow.
During the war.
Yeah, so going back to the Biafran War, I mean, you were working during the war. You were seeing, you had seen so many things.
Yeah.
And can you tell us what lessons you derived from that experience of being firsthand in that war? You were working right with those wounded soldiers. You were seeing the impact of the war on humans, on civilians, on soldiers.
Yeah.
What lessons have you derived from that, or did you derive from that?
Well, as somebody who is quite energetic at that point in time, and we were moving with the army unit, especially when the war zone is hectic. We have to move, and then the advance of the enemies are coming. So we move to another location.
Safer place, yeah.
So we're moving from one location to the other, taking cover. I remember in a village in Owerri, Ikeduru, that's where we based. And that's where the Caritas at that time was based. So our units and everything.
Caritas is the Catholic.
No. It's this Save the Children's Fund. NGOs, international.
Yes.
So that was where they were based. So that we were based there as well. And then, of course, Mbano was our surgical unit, where we moved from that Ogu area to Mbano, from Mbano to Ikeduru, where we finally based for me to carry out the midwifery part of, So I've moved from the soldiers' place now to start caring because of places, treatment of soldiers. They have to be in a unit, surgical unit, where you treat them because of their wounds.
Exactly.
And everything. So it was a very devastating situation. And then staying in the bunker every day. And then if I want to go and see my parents or my sister, I have to hire a bicycle. And that bicycle I have to ride. I have to hire the bicycle for 2 days. I have to ride that bicycle in the bush part of the village, because you cannot ride bicycle or drive a car in the main road. Otherwise, the helicopter will see you, and they're striking any object that is moving at that time. So that was the most tedious part.
Yeah, because I remember some years back, I think I met one of these soldiers or a senior military officer who fought in the Biafra, and he said, I mean, when he sees young people talking about riot or wars, he just pities them.
Exactly.
He said, if you see real war,
Yeah.
you will not wish it on anyone.
Of course. I don't think I will wish anybody
that experience.
Because it's experience that lives with you all your life, and the things you have seen and what you have done, especially in the hospital, where you see when they have operation in the war front, and then the soldiers are brought in the mortuary, and then you see them young boys and everything. Life was so bad, and for us, and then the very bad ones that are bedbound, you cannot take them out put them under the bed when there is a serene that attack is coming, operation is going on. So you carry those who can be able to walk down into the bunker with you. But those who are bad, you just leave them on the bed, pray for their faith to, save them when there is any strike and everything. So it was really tough. It was really tough, yeah. So that experience is what you don't want to narrate more because of what you yourself has endured and done, and see, especially at that young age.
Exactly.
So yeah, if when there's war anywhere, I don't like watching it because I have gone through it.
That experience firsthand.
I've gone through it,
Yeah.
So that was how the war, hit us and everything. But I was able to, sort of rehabilitate my mom and my other siblings before I left in 1971.
Yeah, great.
I left home.
Wow.
That was after the war.
Wow.
So it was 1 year post-war.
Before
that
you left.
before I left my country and then come over to Britain.
Yeah.
And coming over to Britain is for me to as well rehabilitate myself and move forward with my profession.
Yeah.
And then move and see where it will go.
Yeah. So talking about nursing, as it were, was it the choice to go to study to be a nurse? Was it like a calling, or was it some sort of necessity for you, or both?
No, as I said, I had a call.
Yeah.
Call in the sense I had two calls.
Yeah.
Either as a teacher or as a nurse.
Yeah.
And the reason why I took these two professions, one, the state of my family, if I say I will go to secondary school, my parents cannot afford it. And nursing and teaching was the cheapest profession then.
Wow.
That I know if I go, my parents can be able to help me and then I can continue with it because you don't pay higher fees.
Yeah, for nursing.
Like, university and everything. And that was why I chose this
nursing,
profession. Yeah. And I chose it and it was my right profession, which I did.
Right.
Yeah.
And you've been a nurse for a better part of your life, literally.
Yes, I started my nursing profession in 1965.
So you're just about 19 years? You're about 19 years when you started. When you became a nurse, yes.
Oh, yeah, at my age then.
Yes.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
yes.
You're about 19 when you became a nurse.
Yeah, it was then. I started nursing in 1960. Apparently, no. I started my nursing in 1962. And I qualified as a nurse in 1965.
Yeah.
And then after qualifying, because it's 4 years, after qualifying in 65, then I did my midwifery. It's only a year after your nursing.
Yeah.
So I qualified in 1966 as a midwife. And we were the last qualified midwife when the war started. So we just finished and then we did the exam. They sent us the result and I passed, and then the war. That was the blockade between the eastern part and then the western part of Nigeria. And then that was how I completed my training before the war. Before the war started. Yeah. And since then, I've been still on it.
Yeah.
And I carried my training as well as coming to Britain to sort of continue to foster the more knowledge of my nursing
career.
and then, of course, see the other side of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. So you've carried with you some traditions over the years from back at home, from Onitsha to the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
So what are some of those traditions that have refused to let you go, or that you have refused to let go, those things that you still hold dear to date?
Yeah, the tradition is the culture is so respectful, and it has the human respect, humanity, and humanity, and also the humane of an individual to fellow human beings. And then, of course, you being in that profession is a sort of profession that covers every aspect of life in terms of your body, consciousness of people, other people, kindness to others, sharing things with others and everything. So nursing is a profession that once you have that training and respect, it doesn't go out of you, no matter how.
Yeah.
No matter how. And then, of course, when you combine it with your spiritual course, it goes a very long way.
Yeah.
When I say spiritual, fortunately, as a Catholic.
Yeah, you're a Catholic, yeah.
As a Catholic.
Right.
It's actually, goes hand in hand with my culture. And the culture and the religion is not such, a different thing.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say this, because my hometown is where the missionaries settled. And then, of course, that impact and, of that missionary cohesion
has lived with you, yeah.
Really, binded the whole thing well. And once these two go together, it makes you a proper human being.
Yeah. Interesting. So have there been times in your life when you wanted to give up on your profession, give up on everything for one reason or the other?
No, I don't think so. The reason nothing, comes into my mind. One, because I know I'm doing what I,
love, yeah.
the right thing I'm supposed to be doing. And I have been doing it for me and then for myself. And it has formed a sort of impact in my life.
Right.
And then that impaction of it in my life has actually put me to where I am today.
Right.
And I don't regret it at all. And because if I didn't go in that line,
yeah,
I don't know what I could have been.
Maybe a teacher.
Right. And do you know what? It's so funny that I said to myself, if I'm going to have a suitor and a husband, I will never marry a teacher. I will never marry a teacher. I will never marry a policeman or any person in a military uniform. Yeah. And I will never marry a lawyer.
Wow.
You see, I made myself, these people that I've counted, they will never be part of my life. I had a suitor who was a lawyer and everything. Today, he's still alive and he's an attorney. If he sees me, said, you refuse to marry me. I said, yes, because I don't like the way you people, when you see black, you say it's white. So these are my choices, So
so eventually, just take us through your marriage period.
Oh, my marriage period, well, during the war, I had so many suitors, but they were all military people, and I refused to marry. I refused to marry any military person.
Yeah.
And that was why I did not marry throughout that war.
Mhm.
3 years I was working, doing the work I do, professionally. And I said I will not marry. I had so many tutors, even doctors and, other. I refused to marry.
Wow.
And then the war ended. I decided to. I didn't get married before I came over to Britain. I didn't. It was when I got to Britain. Then, of course, I met my husband then.
Right.
And then he's from the same place with me.
Okay.
And then, of course, he was my senior brother's friend and everything. And they grew up together. So my brother said, oh, well, if you don't mind, I think he's a good man. And he's not a lawyer nor any of this. He was an accountant.
Right.
So I said, okay.
Yeah.
So that was how I got married. So I got married in 70... court marriage in 71 and then church marriage in 72 or the same thing. Yeah. So, and I had my first child in 73. So that was how it started. Yeah.
Well, that's quite interesting. Now, so if you were to look at yourself at 25, what advice will you be giving the young Cordelia at 25 today?
25 is a very long period of any individual when you start your life. Well, the reason why I say it's a long period from the age of maturity.
Yeah.
Back home, like my village or community, they don't allow marriage under 20. Yeah, you must be 20 or more. Anything less than, people will say you are still a child.
Back then.
Back then, you're still a child. So once you're 20 years, then of course you are matured now and you're supposed to be be in a man's house and so on and so forth. So that was what I grew up with. So I found myself within that age of 15, 16, 19, before that 20, I have to achieve what I want to achieve. Because the suitor that my mother and my family accepted for me to marry. And they said to me, oh, you have to marry now, and so on and so forth. I said, I don't want to marry now. If he will wait for me, let me finish my nursing career. Then, because I don't want to get married without any certificate from my father's house.
Right.
I have to be a qualified person on any profession before going into a man's house. Because one, I don't want to be a housewife. I must have something as somebody that, oh, I have tried my life, I have done this, and I need to carry it with me. Even if I marry and then, of course, the man doesn't want me to work, I have something to lay hands on when the time comes for me to fend for myself and my family. So that was the thing I had in my mind from day one. And God helped me to achieve it. Because I said to myself, I will not marry until I get any certificate or anything with myself, and then I can now settle with a man. So it was a self-determined situation I put myself, and it worked for me.
Yeah.
And I did it.
Yeah, so if you will be advising a young Cordelia at 25 years, you'll be telling her the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be a liability to anybody. I want to be self-independent, and that self-independence is what I built myself. And I would like my children or anybody to make sure you have that discipline within yourself before you start choosing that marriage life. So that you don't become a liability to the man. At least you are mature enough to educate your own children when you have your own children. So, and then be because you never know what tomorrow will be.
Mm.
If you marry a man and the man doesn't survive at the time your children are growing, so how will you cope with it?
Exactly.
If you haven't armed yourself.
Right.
So getting the certificate and building yourself up is good for any woman
Right.
to have.
Right.
Don't go into marriage with an empty hand. Or you say, oh, when the man will train me, or when I finish my children. Time waits for no man.
Yeah.
So you've got to be armed.
Yeah.
And be a self-independent person.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So when your grandchildren remember you eventually, what is that, or what are those values you want them to remember you with as a legacy that they can live on with?
Well, I want my grandchildren to make sure that, one, respect is one of them. And when that respect is one, you have to be independent. That independence, your independence will now, be as a result of your resilience and your personality, what you want to be tomorrow. You must have at the back of your mind that you have something to aim at and push it on yourself. You don't wait for anyone to tell you what to do. You have to make up your mind of what you want to be, depending on your background. Whether you are from a poor family or whether from a rich family, don't depend on whatever situation you come from. But think about yourself.
Yeah.
When shall I not be dependent on my parents or my husband? Because whatever you prepare yourself, you're preparing it for tomorrow.
For the future, yeah.
If you marry, then you don't depend on your husband. But if you are not prepared before you go in, then of course, that's where it becomes too hard for you. And you don't want to face harder lives in your life. So you have to think about tomorrow, not only today.
Yeah.
And that's what makes a human being.
Right.
To be, and then you can fit yourself in any environment that you find yourself and cope with it.
Yeah.
And then the environment these days, you can only cope with it when you have prepared yourself.
Yeah. So when you first arrived the United Kingdom, what was the shocking thing for you? What was the most shocking reality for you?
Well, it wasn't a shocking situation because of the environment I grew up.
Okay.
Like Nigeria.
Right.
And the town I come from is a cosmopolitan town.
Right.
And I've lived in cosmopolitan towns within Nigeria. Port Harcourt, Kano, Warri, name it. I've lived within these cosmopolitan areas. So there's not much change there. But now you're finding yourself as an adult. Because at that time that I grew up in those cosmopolitan areas, I was still a child.
Yeah.
But I learned so many things and I was able to cope with it. And then coming here, I have no father, no mother to carry me and to carry myself. So you find yourself that now I'm alone. And how can I see the world and how can the world see me? So these are the things you have to weigh.
Right.
And then when you weigh it, then of course you think about yourself and don't always forget the life you have lived and how you made yourself to come to the situation that you are now. And once you think back, then you push yourself as much as possible. And then of course, praying, God is just the most important. Praying for safety and everything, because new environment can bring different changes. It can bring a positive, it can bring a negative
experience.
And that negativity is always, in front of you all the time, being in a foreign country. So it wasn't so shocking. The only thing that got me in the place is just the weather. snow,
Right.
because I
Yeah.
came during the snow period in January.
Right.
So the snow was, I say, oh my God, because I wasn't prepared. I didn't know what
Oh,
I was
dear.
going in for.
Yeah.
So it was really, but fortunately, my senior brother who came had a coat with him, brought something to cover me up, to
Right.
come and welcome me at the train station. I've forgotten the name of the train station where he came
Right.
to look for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was there any cultural shock eventually when you started living in London? Were there cultural shocks compared to back at home? What were those things that when you saw you weren't really comfortable with?
Well, the first thing I have in my mind is I can never compare my home
Mhm.
to this new situation because it's so different.
Different, yeah.
So different in terms of environmental changes, structural,
Mhm.
whatever you see every day, cleanliness.
Mhm.
Even though your own area, you made it to be clean to what you want it to
Exactly.
be. But here, people are being employed
To clean up, yeah.
to keep it and everything. So
Mhm.
you've got to go by the rule of the land.
Yeah.
And when you go by the rule of the land, then of course you will grow better with it and then follow it to the core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've lived in London, you've lived in Nigeria, in different cities in Nigeria,
Yeah.
lived in London and Newport.
Mhm.
So what do you think, or where do you think have or rather has changed you the most?
Well, London, the only thing that I found made me leave London is because of, the hustling in terms of transport, workplace,
Mm.
and then,
It's a busy life, eh?
pardon?
It's a busy kind of life.
Very busy type of life. But mind you, Onitsha, where I grew up is a
It's a
busy
busy
place.
place too. Yeah.
Kano is a busy place. That's why I
Exactly.
said I have lived in cosmopolitan
Cities,
areas,
yeah.
areas in Nigeria. So
Mhm.
coming here to see the same thing is not much difference apart
Difference, yeah.
from the little
Yeah,
civilization, of
exactly.
course, and then things are not the same.
Mhm.
But there are certain things comparing where you come from and what you have met.
Exactly.
It's just identical. They are very identical, but every area has their own different perspective of life. And then, of course, you follow the rule and the ways that the people are used to. Then you carry on with it. That's it,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't see much difference. But the only thing why I left London is because it's so busy, and my work. Transportation was another thing because where I work, I have to have two buses. I have to wake up before 6 o'clock to get the bus, and I have to change another bus to get to the place. Oh my God. So it was
Too much for you.
and then working 12-hour shift. By the time you get home, you can't have enough
Rest.
good 4 hours before you start all over
Preparing,
again.
yeah.
So I said to my people, I said, no,
You're not doing
let me
this.
go and find a quieter place.
Mm.
Quieter and not that, hustling every day. And that was what brought me to Newport.
Newport. Oh,
Yes.
Great.
So,
Yeah. So have you experienced, since you came in 1971, and when you came in 1971, after a few years, you went back to Nigeria and then came back
yeah.
again. Have you experienced cases of discrimination or racism here?
Well, yeah, I have a lot, like when I came into London, when you sit on a bus, a a white man will either get up there because you are now sitting next to him or her, or they will not even offer any seat for you to sit. And then I haven't had any, abuse or something,
Outright abuse. Yeah.
racial abuse in the sense of I was too busy to notice that because I'm only out to work, rushing to work.
Back
And
home, yeah.
but the only place I felt that toxic is the working place. It's so toxic. Toxic that you your color is different from everybody.
Mm.
And where they will tell you to work is different from where others are
assigned to work,
because they will push you down to the worst area for you to work. And then if you have been a very hardworking and resilient person, you can take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Because I remember the first hospital I worked. Oh, I was qualified nurse, but I was taken as a carer. And then that is in Whipps Cross Hospital, London. I was taken as a carer. So during ward rounds, they'll say, oh, follow them and do the ward round. And then the questions I will be asking the doctors, or the question the doctors will ask, I will answer it. And then the qualified ones, white ones, will turn around and say, oh, are you a nurse? And then the doctor will say, isn't she a carer? And then they said, then later on, after they will say, oh, go and take temperature, go and take blood. And I'll take them at that. They will see me doing it and taking the temperature and doing it, coming to give the result of. So one of the matrons said, no, this is not a carer. This must be a good qualified nurse. And from then, they sent me to go and do my training.
Wow.
They gave me the recommendation, gave me where to go and do my training because I was exceptional of course. And that's why I said, once you have been trained in a mission school, not government schools, you are taught you dot your T's, cross your T's, dot your I's and everything. And you continue with it. Or because it has formed part of me.
Yeah.
No matter the situation of work they give you, do it as if there's nothing. And by the time they come, oh, you have finished in no time, they will look and say, oh my God, this is not an ordinary nurse. This is not an ordinary care. So that was how I excelled. And I was given the opportunity to do my training, do this, whatever comes, they give me. And that's how I ended in Royal College of Nursing and Midwifery.
Wow.
So
how did that experience of, say, discrimination and racism, how did it help you to build your resilience through life?
Well, you've got to exploit things and be vigilant and then be observant. And then if they are going right, you go left. And that left, make sure you maintain it. And when they are saying no, you should go there, be persistent. No, this is the way I should go. And once you know your stuff, you go that way and go it peacefully without any grudge or anything. So do the work they give to you so that when they continue doing it, you have not refused, but you have done it. But this is the time somebody else have to share that same thing. So that is not, make sure you tell them that's not your only place to be. You have, why are others going that way? I have to go that way as well because I want to learn.
Right.
But in a very polite, tactful way. You have to be tactful.
Yeah.
So that's what saved me.
Yeah.
That missionary training I had and my family background as well.
Good.
It's what has pushed me to wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So through life, you've had a very good life, Cordelia. Honestly, you've had a very fruitful life in terms of work, family, children, and all of that. What are some of the key challenges you've gone through in life, and how did you face them?
Well, the hard times and whether marital or single life or whatever, it depends on how you take things. And it depends on how you tackle things. And also it depends on your goodwill as well. Your willpower is very, very important because your willpower is what gives you the resilience, gives you the courage, and gives you the, that strength to continue and do what you're doing. Because once you have these qualities, then you'll be able to tackle any roadblock or anything or barrier or anything that, faces you. But you have to be very vigilant to see, observe, and then see and know whether are you supposed to or not. And then, of course, obedience is another thing too.
Yeah.
You have to be obedient to, because they said once you speak foul language, you get a foul language back.
Yeah.
And once you smile, you get
You
smile back. So you've got to play that. Sometimes you've got to learn how to pretend. When you pretend, and then you know exactly what to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have to pretend sometimes, and then get what you want.
Exactly. Positively.
And then be positive in what. And then there are sometimes when you are hooked in a hook corner. Well, according to the law of this place, rather than telling a black lie, you tell a white lie. So you can go free. You have to be tactful.
Yeah.
But not quarrelsome.
Yeah.
You have to, sort of, don't think the type of person you are.
Yeah.
Think about what will be the outcome.
Exactly.
Of what you're doing. If you think about that, forget about your human nature or whatever you are.
Right.
But because I have never carried my professional progress nor my title in anything to show people I am that. So that humor is there.
Right.
And that is what, because, I mean, people carry these things, on their shoulders and everything, and then you carry it and then it doesn't take you anywhere. Then why can't you drop it and take the lighter life and then do your own, what you are, don't think, because I'm from a rich family, therefore everybody should worship me now. Or I'm in this position, people should honor. No. Do what will let people know and question who you are and what you are.
Right.
And then you have proven to them that this is what you can give and this is what you are. If people can do that, then of course, that's when you reap your seeds that you have sown.
Yeah. So you've your spiritual life, you've mentioned it earlier. Your spiritual life has impacted you so much and positively. Tell us a bit about how your Catholic or your spiritual life has impacted your life all through these years. Because for some people, they migrate, say, out of Nigeria to another country, and they were, say, spiritual people, and they go to church and all of that, and then when they move to a new environment, there's no need for church anymore because of work. But you have kept that all through these years to date. In fact, you're going to church this afternoon. So tell me a bit about that.
Well, as I said, you don't start anything, at old age.
Yeah.
You start it when you're young and make it be part of you.
Right.
And once you make anything part of you, then your mind always drifts you back to that state that you are. Well, for me to be a Catholic, I chose a Catholic church. When my parents are pagans. They are pagans. They never went to church.
So your influence was from the missionaries?
From the missionaries, where I found myself.
Yeah.
Because in my family, my father will say, whichever religion you find yourself and you want to go there, I'm in support of that. So that was how I chose Catholic Church. And because I chose it myself, from my parents' house, from childhood, and I still remain with it. And then to add it all is the missionary trainings I had. Because when I was in training, doing my nursing, I was in charge of the chapel, and I was a mass server.
Oh, wow.
And I was at a point, I told my mom I want to go to be a sister, a reverend sister. And my mother said no.
Oh, dear.
No. Yeah, even, because I did my first training at Ihala. And I was doing my 1-year course there. I was the sacristy lady, student. And this, I lay the altar, I do everything. Even when the first Pope came to Nigeria, I was the one that helped to prepare the altar and everything. So it has been part of me from childhood. So when I came here and I retired, And I said to myself, okay, I've retired. What will I do to myself? I have to choose things for myself. One, I have to have a social life. Secondly, my spiritual life, I have to continue. And then my own personality, I have to, these three things, I have to maintain them. And then, of course, my family combined with my own self.
Yeah.
So that's how I've maintained. And that my spiritual life is Catholic. Even now, I hold a prayer group in the church.
Oh, lovely.
And I do reading in the church.
Lector, yeah.
Before I used to give communion, but because of the criticism by the people who are not religious, the way they were doing it, so I stepped out of that and continue with my reading. And I'm still do reading today in the church and do my prayers, my prayer group. I have a prayer group there.
Oh, lovely.
Every Saturday we go in for an hour prayer before the mass starts. So every Saturday. So every Saturday I'm in the church.
Wow. So as we round up now, tell me the secret to being 82 and being this way.
Why I'm this way? Well, I don't, the only thing I will say is luck and being blessed as well. Blessed in this sense.
Maybe hard work too. You've worked hard to keep it this way. Yeah?
I worked hard. Yeah, I worked hard. But the reason why it is this way, one, it's in my DNA. That is number one. Because if it's not in my DNA, I might not be able to control it. So, because in my family, we don't have that, big size. So we maintain our, and I think it's the upbringing, because my mother, gave us a very good, feeding, which was quite okay. My mother was sort of dealing with fish. Fresh fish, dried fish, and everything, vegetable. We cultivate our own farm, and we eat right from our farm to the pot. So, and even me, when I was in School of Nursing quarters, because that's where I was living in Kano, I had a bungalow, a private residential place, and I had land at the back. So I was doing my farming.
Yeah.
So everything I cook and eat is from my farm.
Wow.
So that was how I brought my children up. And then I was doing poultry and everything, rearing goat, name it. And
so this is hard work too.
Yeah,
so you've actually maintained being 82 with God on your side, with hard work and all of that. So the last question, thank you very much for that. The last question, which is our signature question. When you think about the future, what is one possibility for Africans across the world that gives you the most hope?
As hope?
Yes. What gives you hope when you think about the future? What is that possibility?
Africans are blessed by nature. Name it. There's no African country that is not blessed. But their blessing is at stake because of their environmental factors. And that environmental factors is what makes them not to develop.
Leadership, you mean, or?
No, the environment is number one. Number two, the leadership comes in. There's no honesty in African people. And that's so much to their leaders, because if Africa can develop with the blessings they have had or they have got, and the people in power uses it with their people, give the poor what they need, and then make that to be sustainable to them, and then you can do whatever you want to do. Because I've traveled to Abu Dhabi and I've traveled to Dubai, Asian countries or Arab countries. I have traveled. The people there, because of their religion, you see, that's why I match Catholic and Muslim. They have an identical way of living,
Lifestyle.
apart from little
Different,
areas that are different. Give the poor their own share. Give them what they can use to sustain themselves, and don't give the hardship. They have living in hardship. Then you as the leader, why can't you leave them, give them, and then you build your own and guide them? Give them what nature has given to them, because you as a leader, you are part of the family. Then why do you now go? Because you're the leader, you forget the land and the environment you grew up. All of them, they grew up like me. But I will not go and then as a leader tomorrow and engulf everything and then deny them what they're supposed to get. This is the fault of our leaders.
Yeah.
They are so greedy, so corrupt, and they are so wicked. Because they know what they are doing very well, but they don't want to be honest to themselves. Africans supposed not to be suffering. The Englishman or the Western world will come, oh, this is this, because they want something from you, which is the blessing that God has given you, and take it away from you. And then not only taking it away, they make you people to hate each other, fight each other, equip them to yourselves, and then they carry whatever you are supposed to enjoy, and then they go out of the place, and then leaving you people to be yourself. And because then the people that are doing it, the Africans, why are they not learning their lessons and do the same thing as others are doing?
Yeah.
So this is, I blame our leaders.
Yeah.
And I even blame the poor ones too, because they themselves, if they love their country, nobody will come and tell you to go and kill your brother or your sister. So it's two ways.
Yeah.
Two ways that Africans supposed to change.
Yeah. The followers and the leaders.
The
followers and the leaders.
The followers and the leaders, they both have to be blamed.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't halt your leader, halt him to pay attention to you people as they are suffering, then they will be doing whatever they like. They forget that you are suffering. And then you that is suffering, you don't do, rather you keep on doing all bad things just like the people in power are doing. That is our problem. Because if you go to the Western world, they don't deny their people what they should get.
Yeah. And
many of Africans come here, school, work, and then when they go back, they go and behave the way the others are, which is very wrong. The way Africans will learn their lessons and start going back to their roots and know how they came up to that position, the better for us. And go back and enjoy what God and the blessings God has given to us.
Right. Thank you very much, Mami Cordelia. Thank you. It's been an inspiring time listening to you and to your story. Thank you very much. And I wish you many more years.
Thank you.
More years. Thank you.
Thank you.